Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back again to give you guys another fresh look. And today it comes courtesy of my friends over at McFarlane Toys, and we are totally checking out the brand new wave for 2021 of their DC Multiverse line. And really cool characters. And finally, we're kind of completing some teams. We're still missing Barbados, of course, but we're getting Batman of Earth -11, the drowned action figure, which is very cool. She looks great, a little confusing. It's Batman with boobs. Here's the barcode if you want to go ahead and find them in the stores. Also, Damian Wayne. This is the DC Rebirth version of Damian. I actually like this costume. I think that this looks cool, and it's very evocative of Robin to me. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Damian Wayne, I think that that's a very cool looking figure. We also got the Red Sun Superman from the comic book series of the same name. Very cool. Actually, you know, the movie just came out to an animated film, but I think I like the comic book a little bit better. Just FYI, if you've never checked it out, definitely do. Here's the barcode as well for Superman Red Sun. And then also take a quick look at the Batman and the Batcycle. If you are interested as well, I have a full separate video that looks at the Batman and the Batcycle in full detail. Go into it just a little bit more. These are going to focus on all the figures, but mostly on the ones that I haven't talked about just yet. And then, of course, also here's the Death Metal Batman's barcode. And then also, of course, yes, we have the Batcycle. We have a vehicle for this DC Multiverse 7-inch line, which looks awesome as well, straight from Dark Knight's Death Metal. Pretty much the front cover, Capullo design, #1. Very good, different covers, but yeah, this was one of them as well. Really nice packaging. Different, smaller than the Bat Raptor, of course, but a nice little compact packaging for a very nice big vehicle. Batcycle barcode, of course. The Batcycle will hit Sunday, January 10th, depending on when you watch this video, and then the entirety of the new DC Multiverse wave will hit sometime shelves about February or so, and will begin shipping from online. So this is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new DC Multiverse wave for 2021 by McFarlane Toys. And right now, head over to my Instagram. Thank you to McFarlane Toys for hosting this contest. We are giving away 3 prize packs featuring this Batman and this Batcycle. Link in the description below. Do everything you gotta do, and I hope you win one, because it's friggin' rad. And of course, here are all the figures out of their packaging. We got a Superman figure, we got a Dark Knight's figure that kind of sort of completes the team. Batman, of course. What DC Multiverse wouldn't be complete without a Batman, and a new Damian Robin. But let's go ahead and start off with Superman. Now, he hails from the Red Sun comic books, graphic novels, whatever you want to call it. Comes with a trading card as well, along with a flight stand. You can screen grab this if you want to read up on it. For the most part, they got the costume right. If you look at the graphic novel, comic book, you know, you can see the differences here and there around the belts in certain areas. But for the most part, they've captured it. They've reused the previous Superman body, just FYI. So a couple things are off. Also, this is kind of meant to tie in with the most recent Red Sun Superman animated feature, even though that came out a while ago. But, you know, it's kind of hyping it up a little bit. It's actually not a bad animated feature. But really like the cape on this guy. I like the muted blue costume. I think it works well. I like the updated new sort of cape. You can do all the Superman poses. I like the body mold. Yes, it would have been great if they changed some of the articulation on him. But it's a reuse, and it's a dang good reuse, because look at that head sculpt right there. That is a fantastic PO'd Superman right there. But he gets the same type of articulation just to kind of go over it. The head will look up really nicely. He's got some nice rotation in the arms, the biceps. He only has single jointed elbows. Perhaps later we'll get an updated Superman, affected Superman. That's a nice body mold as well. Hopefully we'll see that guy. But I think for the most part, for what this figure entails in the close proximity of the costume, even though a couple liberties here and there, I think it works for what it is. And the head sculpt is fantastic. And here he is up against the previous Superman. And as you can see, yeah, a couple switch outs here and there. The head, the insignia on his chest. very few cosmetic changes, but ones that kind of save on time and money and get another figure out. I like this Superman. I thought he was great, so can't dispute it. I thought this is a very cool looking Superman figure. And of course, real quick, we'll take a look at the death metal Batman, aka the Black Lantern Batman. If you don't really know much about death metal, I don't really want to spoil anything for you, but go check out my video where we talk more about the Batman and his Batcycle, but it's actually pretty dang cool. And of course, let's just get this right out of the way right now. The bat face on the front kind of looks a little rat-faced as well. It's kind of a couple tweaks here and there would have helped. The bat symbol is all over this bike. Batman personalizes everything. The front of the bike will turn, and of course, the wheel will turn as well. It's a very cool motorcycle, and if you didn't want to put Batman on there, I'm sure you could find any number of other characters, Lobo, Ghost Rider, who knows. Same thing with this Batman. This is a cool looking Batman. He's got spikes everywhere. Capullo, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? He's got chains. He's kind of Spawnish. He's got skulls all over him. If you haven't read the comic, you're not going to probably get a lot of this. The details on the back of the jacket is great. The split down the middle really helps putting him on the bike. It looks like leather. But the main thing was, is he going to have the Black Lantern ring? And he does. And not only that, you can see the Black Lantern symbol on it. And it was hard to get a picture, but it's there, baby. The one nitpick, of course, that I have now is that I really wish he had come with fisted hands. That way it's kind of like, boom, rise. So we'll see maybe with the guitar, which, if he's got extra hands. The actual scythe, the death scythe, is really nice. Heck, if you got a Scarecrow figure, it might look good for him as well. The Batman figure, I think, will make a lot of people who were kind of looking for extra articulation in certain areas, I think you'll be stoked. I like the jacket. It's not really cumbersome on him. I like these chains, all the skulls, everything else. I mean, look at the detail on this guy. He is covered in studs and pointy things and everything else. Not quite the best bat butt. I mean, the McFarlane bat butt, it's going to be hard to beat that one, but all the little Batman fins and just the jacket right here, just FYI, it's glued down right there along the bat symbol, so it's not something you can pop off. The articulation in the head is superb. You can look it up, which is really nice to do that rise thing, and you can also look down to be all brooding. The jacket will work with you. It doesn't really hinder at all. He's got butterfly joints, which are an extra little bonus in there as well. He's got some bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which work really well despite all these extra points and jagged pieces and everything else. So it's good. The wrist, the rotates. He's got a nice ab crunch to him. He'll swivel at the waist. He'll rotate at the waist. You can get a lot of movement out of this guy. And it's looking a lot more flush than, let's say, the first wave type Batmans, I will say. You can kick out. You can kick high. Batman's kicking high. You can also have some double jointed knees. I like the knee pads on this as well. The rocker, it's okay. He has thigh rotation. And a lot of people have been asking for this, and including me on certain figures. I think it works. And on this guy, it works really well because you're going to be sitting him on a motorcycle. So I would say just going forward, put some thigh swivel in the other figures. And it's like hidden. That's some good thigh swivel. And bingo bango, you got yourself one heck of a death metal Batman riding a death metal Batcycle. This thing is great. He sits on there perfectly. He can hold the handlebars. He can hold the death scythe while he's doing it. And just if you were wondering, you can put Batman's legs up. He fits perfectly. The bike rolls. You can roll him across your floor if you want to play with this thing and not just display it. It's up to you. But hey, if kids were interested and wanted to play with this thing, well, they dang well could. This thing is a solid bike. Here it is up against the previous vehicle's Bat Raptor. Lengthwise, they're still pretty much within the same realm. Bat Raptor's still incredibly heavier, and I do like this bike, especially with this Batman, but you really can't go wrong with either one. I highly, highly recommend this. This is a total knockout. It's the artwork come to life. Now, next up, as I've said, we've been getting a lot of Dark Knights, especially now with the Drown, the Batman of Earth -11. If you're not familiar with the character, you can either screen grab this or I can fill you in. This is Bryce Wayne. She is a female Batman, right? Everything's kind of flipped in her universe. And it's like kind of if you mash Batman and Aquaman together. There's a whole lot more to it, but I'll save you the time. It's just Batman and Aquaman. But she has a fantastic sculpt to her, and it's nice seeing some female DC Multiverse figures in here. Even though it's Batman, it's very confusing. You know what I mean? But hey, it's nice to have a chick on the team, right? The hair is absolutely gorgeous. That is rendered beautifully. It's like she's underwater. It looks like it's just constantly moving. They did a fantastic job with that. And her trident, her giant weapon, all gold, really nicely done, has elements of bat to it. A lot of these things, Capullo, Snyder, they like to throw that in there. You look at everything, it's got bat stuff hidden all over. But the eyepiece, her mask, the messed up part of her face, her jewel pendant on her chest, again, the hair is gorgeous. Has this little waviness of green wash to it. Her seaweed type dress could have used like a wash to it, but look at the details on her boots, everything about it. Now the hair kind of impedes the movement of the head. You're not going to really get much going back or forward for that matter. So this is one of those figures, yeah, where the female's hair kind of gets muddled in the entire mess. She does have nice rotation at the arms, got bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which looks really, really cool on her. Her hands, McFarlane is doing some interesting hands too lately. She's got double jointed knees on her, and unfortunately she doesn't have any rocker in the thigh or anything like that, but she's got boot and toe articulation as well. I love the texturing on her boots. That is really, really cool to see, and it's interesting to have toe rotation with a more high-heeled boot sort of deal. But dang, this is a knockout figure to go with your other Dark Knights. And speaking of which, look at this comic book panel right here and tell me that this doesn't put a smile on your face. Pretty much just over a year, we have pretty much completed the essential Dark Knights. Yes, we do need Barbados. I think he'd work well as a giant Build-A-Figure or an oversized figure, something of that magnitude. McFarlane, hey, you know what? We've had Malbolgia in the past. Wouldn't put it past him to throw a giant crouched Barbados in there. I would not mind that for 20, 25, 30 bucks. I'd go 40 bucks, let's be honest. But you know what? All of these together, these look fantastic. The details on them, they look alive and menacing. And even if you're really not into these more modern type Batman comics, you can't dispute, this looks amazing. Which then brings us to the final figure of the wave, Damian Wayne, Robin from DC Rebirth. I'm not a huge fan of Damian Wayne, but I do like this action figure a lot, and I think the facial expression really captures the snotty bratness of Damian Wayne. Comes with a trading card, screen grab this, and of course, he also comes with the multiverse stand and a couple weapons, but he's painted beautifully. This is a really nice looking Robin. I've had previous Damian Wayne, let's say from the Mattel. This one tops it. Really, really nice. Paint everywhere. Comes with a couple throwing stars, shuriken, whatever you want to call. Deathstroke's sword, I'm pretty sure, from one of those storylines. I think it's pretty elegantly recreated. Really nice windswept cape. Very thick. It's a nice looking cape on him. Goes up to his hood. He holds all the weapons really nicely, including these two blades. You could get him in some really nice poses, methinks. And I think that overall, the colors of him, very evocative of what Robin should be, but very much his own version of Robin, Damian Wayne. Now, with the head, you get some nice rotation out of it. And I think that just in terms of, you know, the hood and the bag and everything else, it doesn't really hinder anything all too much. Really nice paint on the backside, goes all the way around, the belt, everything else. He does have some nice rotation in the arms. He's got bicep swivel. He doesn't have butterfly joints, just FYI, but nice hand rotation as well. The ab crunch, that's really non-existent. Like you can kind of hear it clicking, but it doesn't really do much, either back or forward. Just the Robin dressings around the character really kind of impedes it. Not much of a waist swivel either. He will kick out. He'll kick to the side as well. And he's only got double jointed knees. So just be careful on this, just FYI. He does have, of course, ankle rocker. The ball joint, it's huge on it. It's got toe rotation as well. Just an FYI, something on my figure, go easy on him. Nothing breaks, but his leg, maybe one or two, will pop off fairly easy. And if you're wondering how he scales, now he is a shorter figure, and I think with most of the Batmans, yes, he will scale nicely. He might be a tad too tall in some cases. For the most part, yeah, that would be more of a teenager's height for Robin in that sense. 13, 14, 15, however old he's supposed to be. And like that we now have a Crow Robin and Damian Wayne together. That actually looks pretty cool. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Old toys, new toys, daily news updates, everything and anything. I guarantee you'll find something here that you like. And that's really going to wrap it up for my look at this brand new wave of McFarlane's DC Multiverse. And thank you to McFarlane Toys for sending this over to give you guys this fresh look. And be sure to head over to my Instagram. Again, the link is in the description below. Go and enter the contest. You can win a Batman and his Batcycle. Winners announced next week on my Instagram. I think you have 4 really stellar figures here, and I really like the Batbike. The Batbike and, of course, the Death Metal Batman really go together really nicely, and I think just as a cohesive one figure in totality, yeah, it's good, but you could use the bike for other figures, characters, and, hey, other toy line brands if you really wanted to. Damian Wayne, couple issues with articulation, I think. The weapons are nice. I think an extra head, and I think encompassing the entire line, I think extra hands would have been nice. I do like the Superman comes with him. I wish the costume was a little bit more on par with what we see in the book, but hey, it still doesn't detract from the fact that's a nice look at Superman portrait. And of course, the Drowned, again, really nice to have a female figure. Really nicely done. Double jointed knees and elbows, really super nice articulation. Minus the head, but the hair's so nice. Hey, you know what? It's just fantastic. Overall, I think it's a knockout wave, and I think you can't go wrong if you're a fan of the DC Multiverse, or if you're a fan of the more modern comics, right? With everything coming out. Superman Red Sun, I think a couple old school people will like that, but you got Damian Wayne, the Drowned, and of course, Death Metal Batman with his motorcycle. But I am curious to know what you guys think about this line. Will you be picking them up? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything DC Multiverse. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, rise. And when we do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.